Good morning, Vietnam. You've reached the Boho Info Show. And today I've got some exciting news. I have found some very interesting information on the Brian and Gabby case, especially pertaining to Brian. I don't know how long the show will go. It might go for 15 minutes. It might go for a couple hours. So stay tuned. Get your paper, your pencil, write down, jot notes, get something to drink, because you're definitely going to have to sit down on this one. And right now, we're going to just say, hey, from my past previous shows, we always insert our opinion on everything that we do. And when we do our research, we do it in such a format where I will tell you where I'm getting my information from, or I will tell you where up places to go or links or etc. and so on. So I have proof of origin of where my information's coming from. The other thing is, take everything that you say or I say with a grain of salt. Do your own research. Find what I find, whatever you want to do. Let's see, what else can I tell you? We make no claims medically, legally, or otherwise. And make sure you guys share this. I'm going to post this out in Twitter land, maybe Tube land. I don't know. We'll see where we can go on this. But stay tuned. This is going to be kind of an exciting show. And I might go through it pretty fast, so you can always stop, start, and replay it. The show will be posted up in my Twitter land or Tube land area later on in the day. And if Dog's listening, this is some interesting tidbits that might add to the investigation on the Brian case. Now, there's other YouTubers out there, I know, in my region of Southwest Florida that supposedly been on YouTube longer than I have, but they don't have certain things that I guess I can... I'm very good stealth-wise dealing with finding the truth, and I'm a truther, so I try to find everything I possibly can, whether it's a corruption connection, whether it's a operative, whether it's something else, and so on and so forth. So this is going to get interesting. Stay tuned. I'm kind of excited in a way because it's been a whole day, and I know you guys haven't heard from me in a couple days on the whole situation with the show, because I was waiting, because there's going to be times where Brian's going to make slip-ups. And the same thing with the father. If any of you guys been really watching and following everything that's going on, yeah, they're right now hot and heavy on his father's trail, and now they're actually finally, tracking him wherever he goes, right along with the mom and all this stuff. Well, there's more to this, a lot more to this. Also, too, you know how they say there's a lot of people out there saying, don't believe conspiracies, right? Well, sometimes conspiracies come true, okay? Now, let's take an example of the mother in the garden. I will show you guys some different pictures and stuff, but I want you to just hear me out a minute. Remember the garden situation where the mother was supposedly in that one planter box that didn't look like it didn't have any plants in it, right? And where she was digging. Like she either, was digging and putting evidence maybe down into the garden. If your dog or FBI hearing me, you better check out the gardens really good. Dig them up, okay? Because I think what they're doing is moving and manipulating evidence in that area. If you look in past videos of a drone that went over that area of the garden has the mom digging, but the father's overlooking things. It looks like the father might have some kind of bag, right, in one of his hands. The mother's got the little garden shovel thing. I don't know what they call it. And she's like just digging right around where the wood strip is, which is like the outer band area. Now, I know there's going to be people on Twitter and Tubeland and other shit saying, hey, don't look into that. It's just a conspiracy. Here's my thing. You have to look into everything when you are involved in a case. everything with a fine-tooth comb. And that part where she was digging down there, like she was grabbing something, and then later looks like it was putting in her pocket, right? I forgot which side it was. I think it was the right, maybe. Right side, maybe. But the drone caught all this on camera. So you need to look at that drone footage. But at the same time, if you look back down into the box, if you look into the garden area where she had it, where there's wood around the thing framing it, it's what they call raised bed garden, okay? In the left area of that garden, as you're looking at the drone footage, I believe, against that wall, wooden wall area of the raised bed, you can see like maybe she was trying to pull weeds, because when you're planting, trust me, as me being a gardener, I know what you do and don't do kind of thing. First of all, there's no plants in that whole bed. I mean, if there is, there's like maybe a couple things coming up and that's it, whether they're, vegetables or a weed, I don't know. But usually it's whenever somebody's planting in a bed, you don't plant against the wall. Like you don't put your seeds in the walls. You know what I'm saying? And then something comes from it. Okay. So someone was saying on YouTube or Twitter there that those could have been weeds that she was pulling, right? Here's my thing. If you look at that drone footage and you slow it down and really zoom into that area, you'll see that it looks like she pulled something from there, right? But then it was gone, but then all of a sudden showed up. Right? And it waved like it was fingers or something. Now, here's my, just hear me out. I know you're going to say this is so far-fetched, but when you're investigating something in this kind of realm, you have to look at all sides, the good side, the bad side, the on the fence side, everything side, you know? Here's my thing. You got to remember the father. I don't know if I can find that picture. Let me see if I can find that drone footage. Let me see. Ryan, oops. Hang on a minute. Because I can't even spell right today. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute here. Hang on. But as I was saying, follow with me. When the mom is planting stuff, okay, that weed disappear and all of a sudden reappear, but then all of a sudden you see this like motion in that area. And if you really zoom into it, I'm trying to find a picture of it. I'll see if I can find a picture of it. Yeah, here we go. All right, let me find an image on it to give you a blow up idea. Now, anybody can find these images on the web. Okay. So, and here's the thing. Remember, before I get to the really interesting part of it, remember they said that the lawyer didn't want the parents, or didn't want the drone over the house or something, and somebody ordered it. I don't know if it was the lawyer or whoever it was. Remember that? I don't know if you guys remember that. But there's several different social media outlets on it here. Let's see. All right, so right here. I don't know if you can see it. Right here. Right down where my hand's pointing. Let me find something here. Okay, look at this bed and look at the bed right next door. Okay, this bed has vegetables in it, right? Now, look at this bed. It has no vegetables, nothing of growth of any sort coming into it. But yet you can see the area where the mom was digging right here, right there, maybe right there and right there. But that's what's weird about it, because there's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm getting to some really good stuff, so I hope you take note. But remember, this is the area where she was digging right there, right? No one plants seeds against a wall, ever. It usually is roughly 3 to 6 to maybe as much as 12 inches apart on their seeds if they're planting seeds. Okay, they're not planting plants, otherwise you would see the plants. So even if it was seeds, okay, they wouldn't be planting it against the wall. Okay, so if you see right there, right where I'm pointing at, Okay, that's where the mom was supposedly putting her shovel and picking something out of there. Somebody was saying, oh, it was weeds, blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, if you look at it on the drone footage, which I don't have, I'm not playing right now, you guys can find it for yourself, blow it up, you can see something disappeared there, but then all of a sudden, something moved. To me, when I blew it up, to me, it looked like it could have been fingers. Now, you got to remember something. Brian's dad is worth $5 million on his company. He can easily be able to afford an underground bunker. Who's to say, and you can look at, for people that are in the Patriot community, you'll know the underground bunkers have these 4 little things right here. Okay? Because that's like the roof of the top part of the bunker. Okay? This is getting better, though. Oh, man, is this getting better. So if they have a bunker there, and if they don't, let's say they don't, and they're just maybe hiding evidence and moving around, which shows these big, huge areas, okay, of openness, like somebody dug there kind of thing. And right now they could probably hear this program and cover it over, but there is proof on the web of pictures before they do that. Okay, so get those pictures, okay. That, let me see if I can find a bigger, better picture of the area. Give me a minute here. Right here. Is this it? One of them? Yeah, there's a close-up. I know this is a blurry picture, but see, right here is right where she was digging. Right there. Okay. Let me see. The FBI and the dog is gonna have to look at the drone footage on that. Okay. Let me see if this is getting into that part of it. Okay. Give me a minute. And this could be another reason why the sister is separating, Brian's sister is separating from the family, because maybe the sister knows about that bunker, but she don't know that maybe, and I'm just saying maybe, that Brian's mom is hiding evidence in that garden. See? When you plant plants, you don't plant them against the wall, ever. Never, ever, ever. Because the root system is not able to grow. I can tell you this as a gardener. Okay? At the same time, you have a digging area there, and that's where supposedly something was pulled up and out of there. Okay? Now, whether it's evidence, it could be, I don't know. But right now, the FBI and dog need to go in there and completely search that backyard. I mean, everything. From the garden beds here to underneath the plants in the ground, in the shed, of any plants anywhere. Take a metal detector throughout the whole backyard. Okay? Because I think what's happening is she might have been switching out burner phones there. And I'll get to something really interesting about the burner phones as well that I found out. But what's really interesting is the mom is there, right? And let's go back to the father. If I can find the father picture. Give me a minute here. That was that one. And anybody can search these pictures on the web, by the way. And you can go to different social media sites and so on. All right, so here is the father. Now, I want you to look at something. The father has something in his hand right there, whether it's a hat or a bag, and there's looks like something else maybe over there. But you need to look at the drone footage for clear view on that one, because that could have been something he put in a bag. Now, here's the thing. If anybody in law enforcement knows from criminology stuff of any sort, and this is just basic knowledge that even a citizen shouldn't know, but I know, you can bury evidence anywhere. It could be clothing, cell phones, gun, maybe a gun, maybe, any kind of weapon, maybe, etc. Right? So I think law enforcement needs to go in the backyard and not Northport. Okay? Not Northport, and I'll tell you why. Do not allow Northport anymore on their premises, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But the FBI, because that will have more severe implications if they're messing with the case. But anyway, yeah, there's so much interesting stuff. It's blowing my doors in that they can't get this guy right now. And stuff is so evident. It's like a cover job to me. The whole thing seems like a cover job. Give me a minute here. I'm trying to find. Okay, another thing you guys need to look at is what Gabby's dad carries. Okay, carries bags in and out of his truck, right? All that kind of thing. Okay, so there's that part. I want to tell you that because this is going to have a connection with everything else. Okay, so I want you to go back to this picture here. This one was posted, I think, on TikTok. There's other ones on different social accounts popping up now and anywhere on the web and stuff like that. But for those who do or do not know what an underground bunker looks like, we're going to go into that. And it's very rare, just to let you know, it's very rare in the state of Florida to have underground bunkers for Florida, because Florida is on sand and limestone kind of structure. Okay. So here is an idea, roughly, if I can show you. And there's many different kind of models, so I'm not saying it's this particular one. But if you see the picture like it is here, okay, here's the thing, okay? It's an underground city, basically, or underground rooms. And I will show you underground bunker. Here, hang on a minute. And these are places where some of you guys are old enough to know that, people from the war survived through there. The elite now are planning to go there, kind of thing. So, yeah. Here is underground bunkers right here. By the way, my name is Cher. I'm hosting this show on Boho's Info right now to give you this information. So if they do find it, I get credit for it, okay? But any part I'm taking into the investigation on the whole thing. So I want a piece of that pie, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, I want to get this case solved one way or another, dead alive or otherwise. So an underground bunker, I want to go into that because it's really important on what I'm seeing that it's matching up, because sometimes, like I say, you'll see shit on the web that basically says, hey, you know what, this is just a conspiracy, people are going to blow this up and blah, 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 and all this stuff, right? Well, no, the possibilities are all possibly there, because conspiracies can sometimes turn to be true. Okay, they call these U.S. safe rooms, bunkers, underground bunkers, etc. This is pretty much what it looks like underneath. Very easy that the whole family can go in there, get store food, water, ammunition, medicine, etc., and stuff for living conditions of any sort. Do you see this, how it's set up? Okay, and this is a straight one, see? And all they have to do is have certain elements open. And if you notice, okay, yes, there's latches here and here. Now, if you turned it around, you could open it up a little bit on the end, and you could slide something down in there. Remember the picture. Whoops, where is it? Hang on. That picture I showed you here just previously of that square area of a garden. Okay, and if you focus into the area of where the where she was pulling, which was against the actual wood grain wall area. Whether she's planting evidence, grabbing evidence, rotating it, I don't know, but there's no plants in there. It's awful odd that that one garden next to it has all plants, but this one has nothing, okay, except for maybe a few weeds here and there. And even if she was pulling weeds, it wouldn't develop a big hole like that, knowing from my gardening experience, okay? The weed has to be at least over a foot tall to create a big hole like that. And there's nothing in there, nothing. So that gives me the indication that it has the possibility of an underground bunker or safe room situation, which is another interesting protocol for Florida because of the way Florida functions with its ground and everything. And on top of it being that it's underneath a garden bed, which would be perfect camouflage for a safe room or a bunker of any sort. So she could be slipping, Brian could be down into a bunker like this, and she could be sliding down things out of her pocket to go down into that area. So I encourage them to search the garden, see if there is any such thing there. You know, it's a possibility. You know, there's plenty different ways that safe rooms and bunkers are there. And maybe this is how Brian is fleeing the law, because the father and the mother are in cahoots, and that's why they're not talking, whether it's, you know, the lawyer telling them not to talk to media or otherwise, or law enforcement, okay? Because it's going to implicate the parents if they do have a safe room or bunker, and they've been putting evidence or, you know, keeping Brian down into one of these kind of things for his safekeeping. I'm just saying it's a possibility. You know, there's a lot of, you have to look at that drone footage, okay? You really have to look at that drone footage. So yeah, the possibility is there. Rule, yes, usually there's a lot of, there is some kind of air system involved in all these bunkers. You'd have to research it on the web. A lot of there's many different kinds of, what do you call them? Many kinds of bunkers and safe rooms that they're making, different kinds of them. And a lot of them have different ways of having air and air venting. And who's to say the other garden could have a tube, or anywhere in that backyard could have any kind of piping for air, and they could get air down into there with no problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's very possible. Walkie-talkies, no, Rue, I get to something. There's something better than the walkie-talkie, because here's the thing. The media made a slip up, and I'm going to show you here shortly, but the media made a slip up that they couldn't get cell phone signals from the Carlton Reserve area, okay? If they can't get cell phones, they definitely can't get usually walkie-talkies, because you got to understand the frequencies for walkie-talkies and the frequencies for cell phones. They're running on around the same type of frequencies, but there is one type, and I'll show you in a minute in the show, that is able to do that. All right, so here is, I'm going to explore something else here. Also, too, I know I told you guys on my past shows why I'm raising the red flag on this whole investigation, because there's been slip-ups with the Northport Police. There's been slip-ups with the FBI. There's been slip-ups with the parents, with the lawyer. The whole thing stinks. Okay? The whole thing. I mean, to me, you got to look at something. I know this is happening on a local level, and sometimes people lose the focus. But if you back yourself away from the case, okay, back yourself away from the case and think about everything that's happened in this case, okay? Then think about what happened over in Las Vegas with the shooting, or in California with the shooting, or with any other kind of weird situation like that ever in America in the past, let's say 2 to 4 years, okay? think about all that and how they're having conspiracies and connections to the government and government contractors and all that other shit, okay? A lot of this stuff I'm talking about will not probably be discussed on any other YouTube channel, but it needs to be discussed because we're at a point where can we trust this three-letter agency to investigate the crime of Brian, first of all. Second of all, we definitely know we can't trust Northport police, right? Because they've been screwing up left and right, right? Well, it gets better. Oh my gosh, this is just crazy. Some of the stuff that I'm finding. I mean, and you guys better share my channel. I'm telling you what, I'm excited because I'm finding the stuff that should have been found and basically caught and prosecuted. And they're not doing anything to the people that screwed up. You know what I'm saying? It's just, just wow. Okay. All right. Let me go back to, right here. See, it says, don't worry about pulling the weeds and all this critical thinking. No, it's not about critical thinking. It's the possibility. And it's no rumors, okay? You guys judge it. I'm not spreading rumors. You guys judge it. You look at that footage. Look at the footage of that drone, okay? That's all I'm saying. Look at the footage of that drone, right? Look a close-up. See what the mom's putting in her pocket. And definitely it's not the shovel because the shovel's too big, okay? All right. Give me a minute here. Let me go back to the other thing. Oops, no, that was it. Okay. There was something else in here I wanted to show you guys. All right. Let me skip over while that's loading. All right. So this was put up on Twitter. Let me see if I can find it for you guys. I mean, this is the most. I mean, you see about so much corruption in the world. This thing's of it. I'm going to tell you, the case, bottom line, the whole case is corrupt. Okay? I'm going to tell you that right now before it even comes out. The whole case is corrupt. Okay? Yeah. All right, hang on. So if you guys go into Star Brian Laundrie on Twitterland there, okay, you'll see a bunch of comments. There's a picture of the mom. They're walking away, okay? And if you notice, right, he's telling her, hey, you know what, we're being watched by a drone. Let's go inside. Well, I'm sorry. That to me is an admission of guilt, okay? And regardless if, it's invading their privacy. If they didn't have nothing to hide, I'd say, here, I'd pull down my pants to that drone and tell them to kiss my ass, my white ass. Pardon my French, but how I work, right? But yeah, evidently they've got something to hide because he's like, hush, hush. And he's like, okay, yeah, let's go inside. Da, da, da. The drone's watching us. Da, 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 da. Well, that's to me, mission of guilt, that they're hiding something. And with her being the mother digging in the garden, which means the mother is just as guilty as the father is, okay? That more so the mother on the gardening part of it, though, that they have something to hide there. And I'm thinking, that it's evidence. You can look at many, many crime stories in the past. How many people have actually buried their weapons or their crime materials in the ground? Okay. I'm asking the FBI and Dog, especially Dog, why haven't they gone in the backyard and done a metal detecting of the whole backyard, first of all? And how come they didn't dig up that whole garden and do soil samples? Okay. That's where my question is. So that way, if there is any conspiracy about that garden, then we'll lay that to rest. And I'll rest my peace on that part of it, of the investigation, right? But it is what it is, right? You don't overlook anything. See? Now, there you go. See, they're talking about, how they plant flowers. And even if you plant flowers, but see how they planted them, okay? And even though this was meant for like a Halloween costume situation, right? Even though they're showing the actual proper way of gardening, which is a slip up on the media and the person that did it, right? So when you're planting stuff, whether it's from seed and something's coming up or it's not a seed or whatever, okay? You see how it's planted? 6 to 12 inches apart. Sometimes as much as just 3. But you don't see anything grown on the actual edge anywhere. That is a red flag, my people. All right, let me see what else I can find for you guys. Here's the other thing. This is another thing. It's amazing how we have interesting information in our nice little web. How the web can work for us even though they're trying to work against us, right? Here's a slip up. Did you guys grab this one? You 3-letter agencies or Northport Police or whoever? I know me and a few others have. You know that one picture where they show Brian's dad going down yesterday? This is what, Thursday. He went Thursday. The father went down to Carlton Reserve, right? Some of you seen that picture where he was talking to an officer and he was smiling. Now, who in their right mind has a missing son smiling, right? Who in their right mind would have a son smiling? Wouldn't he be mad, like, where is my son, or crying like, oh, I miss my son, or, some other emotion. Emotions, for all you FBI agents out there and people that evidently, no matter what school you went to, didn't learn enough. Emotions and facial feature structures. I know for a fact you have 3-letter agency, especially FBI, was taught that. Facial features, the way their emotions run in their face, how they look. Are they, withdrawn? Don't they have no energy, or are they sad or upset or always looking down or depressed? Or are they really happy? Right? To me, this is a red flag, not only on the FBI, a red flag on Northport Police. This is almost getting to be a conspiracy, well, not even conspiracy, a corruption case. Okay, I'll put it that way, a corruption case. If I wish I had someone would pay me $1 million to go down all these avenues of investigation, I probably would find the whole overall situation. But here's the thing. And I definitely would develop more proof and evidence out there. But anyway, the father smiling at the police officer, right? Okay. You don't smile, first of all, right? You never, ever smile. All right. Now, this is the father yesterday going down to, I'm trying to get back to the original area here. Give me a minute here. Now, some of you guys saw this footage on Florida News. Not sure. I'm trying to go back to the area where it was, but I'll have it playing here soon. But if you look at, see, they finally are having trackers. Okay, they got trackers all over the place. Track as much as you want, Track as much as you want. Now look at that bag. I want to stop there. See that bag? I want you to notice something. Here's what the FBI and all our government agencies didn't look at. That bag not only is a gray bag, which means it's probably a Walmart bag. Okay. But you look at it here, it's kind of heavy. Okay. If you notice, there's some weight to it. Stop right there. Stop. Okay. Notice this right here. There's something inside that is black. Okay, because the light's shining through it. Okay, the way it is. Now, you don't see water bottles where you think the father was going out and, doing any hiking or need water, right? You don't see a first aid kit. Maybe it is a backpack. You know what I'm saying? It could be a backpack. Maybe they have several backpacks in their house. Did any of your three-letter agencies figure that one out? Probably not. Did any of you guys look at inside all of them? Nah, I don't think so. But it's heavy. And to me, that looks like black clothes. Right? I want to stop here. If you notice on the bottom, it had something white like papers. Now, here's my thing. What if the father is printing out maps for the son? Okay? Because I'm sure the father has a computer, being that he's a businessman, he has a computer, he has a printer and all that stuff, right? He printed out maps for the son, not only for, Carlton Reserve, but for maybe the other one, the DeSoto campground thing up there in near Tampa, amongst other areas in the United States. Here's the other thing. It had weight to it. It was in a shopping bag, kind of like a Walmart shopping bag. It was dark in color. Usually if it's light colored, something or another, you remember, sunlight can go through plastic bags so they can see what the contents are. It's kind of like a clear see-through bag situation. So it was heavy. Clothing can be heavy. A backpack can be heavy, right? And then you have papers in there, right? Well, there's more. Wait, watch. Let me get to this part. And you got trails. They're finally trailing him wherever he goes, right? And I've seen these vehicles, both that white car and the black car here in Northport, Florida. I've been searching myself out here. In fact, I've seen all three of those cars, really. Okay, let's go again. Stop. See that weight? Now, to me, that looks like it could be a backpack. Okay, but it could be black clothes. It's see-through enough to know, even with sunlight going through there, if it's light-colored clothes or dark-colored clothes. Now, let's go back to this here. Look at this right here. This is all black clothes. Let's go back to this again. Let me go back here a little bit. Hang on. And if you notice, he has no facial expressions, the father. To me, that shows an admission of guilt so freaking bad. I mean, no admissions, like he's angry or upset or depressed or anything, nothing. I mean, it's like he's a zombie. It's like he don't give a shit, I know I'm saying some frank words, but you got to sometimes express in that way to wake people up to see things. All right, so stop right there. So let's look at something. Okay, if you notice, this part right here is all like really straight, right? Now, what if that was a bulletproof vest? Or maybe it was the back shield part. Let's just say. Now, here's my question. With everything that I'm just saying, just in the show so far, about the bunkers, about the gardening, about, him possibly, them having guns, or Brian did, and also having armor, knowing that he's a survivalist. To me, he sounds like prepping people, right? I'm just saying. Good prep, bad prep, whatever prep, okay? But there's more. Look at the weight when it goes in the truck. See, it's heavy. See, you can tell he's having just a teeny bit struggle of it going in. All right. Now, look at this. Here's his vest right here. That's weight. Okay. That's weight. All right. Let me go back to, hang on a minute. So that's that. Any questions so far? I'll answer as much as I go in and out of rooms, okay? It looks like a vent across them. Okay, money's on here, backyard. Money's on, he's in the backyard. We have plastic septic tanks here in Florida. That's big enough to live in. That's very true, Rue. That's very true. They can have septic tanks made into safe rooms as well as underground bunkers. Same thing. Very true. That's what I'm saying. I need to look that all up. Right? All right. So let's go back to this picture here. All right. And let's go over here. I'm going to show you something. You guys are not going to bliss. This is getting to be good. We're getting to be good. Oops, not that one. Didn't want that. Did I write that? Maybe I did write that. I don't remember. Okay. Give me a minute. Yeah. All right, let's see. And then remember, this was all yesterday. This was Thursday, the 7th. I'm showing this as on the 8th right now. And they've got these, what do you call it, WFLA people really reading it. Stuff like this. I've seen that red truck all over the place. And I can